Hey everyone, so we are back again with another reading, and this one is all about time traveling to a day in your future. So we're going to see what you guys have going on this day in your future, from your schedule to your lifestyle to where you live to your personal life. We're going to try to find out all the details we can about your life in the future and kind of fast forward to that point and just take a little bit of a look around. So I'm really excited for this one, and I do want to mention to you guys that I got inspired to do this reading by Taro's video of the same name. Of course, I'm sure you guys all know Taro. She's an incredible reader on here, super talented, really funny how she does her readings, but while still getting some divine downloads. So she's huge on here, and I'm sure you guys already know her, and she needs no introduction from me. But I just want to give credit where it's due because I thought this was such a creative idea, and I actually haven't seen many people do it at all. She's the only one I've seen do it, and I just think it's like incredible that she even thought of this idea because it's so much fun. So I will link it below in case you have not seen it or want to see her perspective on it. But I'm sure most of you guys have probably already watched it, already watched all her videos, and probably are subscribed already. But anyway, if for some reason you haven't, you can go ahead and check that out if you like this topic. So with that being said, today we have a beautiful selection for you of cards with crystals on top. So if at any point you feel drawn to a certain pile, you can skip ahead whenever to that pile. But I do want to show you guys the numbers on each of the piles as well. So we are starting off with pile number 1. Then we have pile number 2, number 3, and number 4. So if you guys need more time to decide, you can feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need to make up your mind. But we are going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey, pile 1, so if you guys picked this blue kyanite crystal, this is going to be your reading. So for your pick a card, you guys got miracles, and for the tarot, you got death, King of Pentacles, the Devil, the Emperor, Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Hierophant. So I can see that first of all, the first thing coming through to me is that you guys will probably have a pretty abundant lifestyle with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Some of you guys might be married to someone who has a lot of money, especially if you're a feminine. This could indicate a very powerful and wealthy husband who might be like CEO or someone kind of well-known or someone who just has a lot of money. If you're a masculine, it would definitely indicate that you guys will be very powerful and making a lot of money yourselves. But either way, I see you guys as kind of being very much invested in this relationship with the Lovers coming out right underneath the Devil. It is making me think that there's an element of this relationship that's almost addicted. Those cards are actually very related, and I feel like you guys are going to be very attracted to each other, very drawn to each other, kind of like, you know, how some couples that might have a lot of money, like they can afford to have 2 separate bedrooms and they can afford to have even 2 separate houses if they wanted, and instead they still stay very attached to each other, and almost like because they don't have anything else to worry about in the world, that they just are like so into each other, whereas like other couples have to worry about money and they argue about that and stuff. It's like you guys just seem like one of those kind of wealthy couples that just like are so into each other that just spend all their time hanging out, kind of a thing. So I almost feel like for some of you guys, you might just like be very glued to the hip with this spouse, and like this is a huge part of your daily routine where you guys might wake up and immediately like you spend the rest of the day with them, or you like, you know, have breakfast together and then they go off to work and then you pop back in for lunch and then you guys go out to get cocktails with each other, and you guys are just spending all this time with each other, thinking about each other. There's a lot of attraction coming through as well. So I do feel like you guys will have a very like active relationship, if that makes sense, where you guys are hanging out a lot and still find each other very sexy, very attractive. I do want to mention with death that whatever you guys have going on in your life, that it might be very different in the future. And something else that's coming through with the Five of Pentacles, which I then asked to clarify with the Hierophant, which is exactly the card that had come to my mind, is that some of you guys might be in kind of almost non-traditional spirituality or something like that. that's kind of one of the deeper meanings of the Five of Pentacles, because in the Rider Waite, they you can see with the stained glass that they're actually outside of like a church, but they've been shut out from the church. So I was clarifying the Five of Pentacles because it can mean a bunch of different things, but especially with wealth, it can mean lack of money. And I feel like for you guys, you very well might be involved in some other form of spirituality, whether you guys, that's not like the traditional thing from your country or your culture. So if you guys grew up in like America where, you know, Christianity is super popular, it's not to say that you can't be a Christian, but maybe you also have other spiritual practices on the side. Maybe you guys also, you know, do tarot or see psychics, or you meditate and you do a little other kind of spiritual stuff mixed in or something. But I do feel like this is a major aspect of your life. So you guys might have spiritual practices that start off with that. So like waking up in the morning and meditating, or reading, you know, or doing yoga or something, or reading something from a spiritual leader or whatever. But I feel like that's a major aspect of your life, and a day in your life is going to involve some aspect of this kind of non-traditional spirituality, where you're not just, yeah, you're not just kind of going to go to church on Sundays or whatever is kind of the norm in your country. You're going to be doing something a little bit different. And honestly, I feel like some of you guys might be spiritual leaders in some way. So maybe you guys have an interest in manifestation or tarot or something like that. But I feel like this is going to be a major aspect of your life. That is like a big thing. You guys might be getting a lot of downloads, and like I said, meditating a lot with the Four of Swords. Like I feel like I can't overstate enough how much energy is coming through in this reading. So for some of you guys, it might be you wake up first thing, you meditate, or later on, maybe you guys even film tarot too, or maybe you film other kinds of readings, or you have an Instagram about spirituality. But I just feel like this is a major thing. And at least in your social group, you're somewhat of a leader with this, possibly even on a wider stage. But overall, it's like your life isn't that busy with the Four of Swords. It might be a kind of like a life of leisure, like you're resting a lot. You guys are having that time out to yourselves. You're not having to like go, push all the time and stay really busy. In fact, I don't even think we have a single wand card coming out. So yeah, you guys have, I think, a pretty chill life. Like it's not like you're pushing yourself to exhaustion or anything like that. I feel like you guys have plenty of time to rest. And I feel like even though with, like I said, with the death card coming out, it's going to be kind of different than what you guys might be living like now. It might be very different. And part of you guys might be like, I don't know about this. Like I like my career or something like that. But I feel like this is going to be very positive because we got the Miracles card and it just feels really happy. So more cards about your future day in the life. We got Look in a Book, Celebration, and Abundance. So I love that we got Celebration and Abundance. So confirming that you guys are going to have a lot of money. I am seeing someone who's living kind of a glamorous lifestyle, maybe going out to like parties every night or regularly going to parties. You know, I feel like sometimes when you're in a certain social crowd, like people have kind of like upscale cocktail parties like every night, and that's kind of the vibe, or that's just a regular part of your schedule. So like I said, I could see you guys. Also what's coming through is you guys are very health oriented and kind of like intellectual, smart, so constantly educating yourselves. With Look in a Book, you might, you know, like I said, you guys have a lot of time to yourselves. So you might decide to spend the afternoon just reading a book, and like that's okay. You don't have to report to like a 9-to-5 job and have to answer to a boss or anything like that. Because I feel like honestly, for my feminines especially, your husband makes a lot of money, and for my masculines, I feel like you guys will just have a level of power in your career where you can be like, okay, I'm taking the day off, like you guys take over for me today or something, where maybe you're able to like set your own schedule because you're that high up or something like that. Or maybe you're able to like work remotely and decide to, you know, call in from like a vacation or something like that. But I definitely see you guys having that time to kind of constantly work on yourselves, and health and self-growth, and this spiritual theme being a major aspect of you. So I noticed that a lot with people that have like a lot of money, is they can kind of move forward into like, what else makes me happy? And a lot of times spirituality or improving their health is the answer, because when you have all the material possessions, other things come to the forefront. So I see you guys having kind of the lifestyle of one of those, like, I don't know, bougie, like Malibu people who, you know, have a green juice in the morning and then go to yoga, and then maybe they, you know, go meet with like a guru or something like that. But it's definitely more of an upscale vibe. So we also got Angel of Love, Angel of Balance, Rest and Rejuvenation. So that coming through again. Door to personal healing and happiness, woman holding a heart, and goddess of the moon. So I can see that again, there's a lot of kind of balance, and I feel like moderation in your life, where I feel like you guys are that, like I said, wealthy person that like eats a green juice every morning or is very health conscious and has a lot of balance. You're not going to necessarily go to excess and like be overeating or be having a crazy lifestyle where you're staying up super late and not resting. I see you guys really prioritizing your health and your fitness in the future, because again, you're not having to worry so much about money, so you are able to focus on these other things. So there's a lot of downtime and leisure time in your life that I feel like you guys can fill however you want. You guys might have like people working for you, like a cook or a nanny or something to kind of take over, because again, you guys have a lot of time for this rest and chill energy. So you're not having to hustle all the time. With Goddess of the Moon, again, this psychic or spiritual vibe for a lot of you guys. I feel like you guys have this knowledge of esoteric subjects. You guys are somewhat spiritual in some way, and you're really good at that. So maybe you have that morning meditation or morning tarot pull session, but you guys are getting real downloads from the universe. And maybe this is why your partner, who I sense, again, for my feminines, might be a very powerful person, views you as so important in their life. Maybe you kind of guide them in some way, or you're that asset to them that kind of helps them make business decisions because of these downloads you get from spirit, that kind of a thing. But I feel like you guys are a very kind of wise asset that this manifests in your romantic relationship a lot. I can't like emphasize enough how much this romantic relationship is popping up. We got woman holding a heart and angel of love. So you're very connected with your partner. I feel like you guys, I'm getting the vibe of like a middle-aged couple. So I don't know if you guys are like 19, maybe this wouldn't come in until you're like 35 is when you find them or something like that. For some of you guys though, of course, wherever you are on the trajectory, it could be different, but I really feel like this is like a more mature relationship. Like it doesn't feel like young love that's just, you know, super obsessed with each other on kind of like a more immature way. It could be that you guys met when you were young, but then you grew together, but both of you guys feel very mature, very responsible. Again, your partner is coming through as the King of Pentacles. So this is someone that's grounded, that has reached a level of deep maturity and kind of wisdom. Pentacles, King of Pentacles to me is always someone who is like very patient, someone who is very steady, someone who, is very divine masculine. So either that's you guys or your partner. And if you guys are a masculine again and you're interested in women, you could totally be dating this goddess of the moon type energy that's going to be this feminine divine type energy, and very kind of dreamy, feminine in nature, and spiritual, that kind of guides you and helps you and gives you that support. But either way, you guys are very obsessed with each other and so into each other. And this is just like, I feel like you guys organize your schedule around each other. Like you're that type of couple that, you know, you want to meet up for tennis together. You want to meet up to go for drinks afterwards. You want to, like, if someone's meeting with a friend, the other person's like, oh, well, can my husband come? Can my wife come? Like you guys are just so into each other. If one person is taking like a development course, they sign the other up for it, and that kind of a thing. So yeah. Okay. So we also got Feast of Plenty, Choices and Their Consequences, Horseman, Herald of Change, Dust Devil, Moving Out of Stagnation, and Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibilities. So honestly, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be skeptical hearing all of this, because we got so many cards about change that I'm just like, okay, you guys must not be in this energy yet. Most of you guys in this pile must be like away from this, and it's not like you're close or you're almost there, but it's like it seems totally different. And so I do feel like a lot of you guys will be undergoing a lot of change to become an energetic match with this type of energy. But your guides do want you to know that there's limitless possibility, and this totally is an option for you guys. Even if you're like, that just doesn't sound like me, like I eat junk food all the time, I'm never going to be a green juice drinking yogi that wakes up at 6 a.m. Like that, this is what spirit is saying. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, even though it might seem like kind of an unreality or not something that couldn't happen, it definitely will. And again, this emphasis on money, this emphasis on you guys having a lot of whatever it is you want, whether you want to stock your fridge with like the most expensive stuff or you want to go on expensive vacations. I keep hearing Gestad in my head. So I don't know if you guys want to travel there or you guys ski on vacations or you guys like to go to tropical places, but I'm seeing you guys vacation a lot and go to different places. Maybe you guys might even own horses or something like that. But I definitely feel, again, with this, so we have Buddha there. Maybe you guys have some Buddhist spirituality mixed in as well, or maybe you're Buddhist, but again, it would seem like it would be kind of out of the realm of whatever is going on in your country. So a little bit untraditional for you guys, because I definitely see this being an untraditional spirituality for whatever you guys are around. So I feel like you guys, again, the spiritual practices are a major part of your life. So we got indecision, health, and balance. So again, this emphasis on health and you guys really looking after yourselves and keeping yourselves in the best shape possible. And I think when someone has a lot of money, unfortunately, there are different like health outcomes for people who have money versus people who don't, people who can afford to like buy organic or people who can afford the best holistic doctors or whatever. And I feel like you guys just are able to spend a lot of your money on that. If there's like an expensive trainer, you can afford to get a session with them. If there's someone who does maybe Reiki healing and they are pricey, you can afford to go to the best of the best. You can afford to shop at Erewhon in LA or whatever the most expensive health food store around you guys is. You can always afford to buy it. So again, health becomes a major thing for you guys. And we got balance twice. So I really think that you guys just have a kind of balanced lifestyle where you're making sure you eat in moderation, drink in moderation, and look after yourself. I feel like you guys have almost an abundance of choices. Like you might be indecisive sometimes because you have so many options at your disposal. I feel like most people, they kind of don't have a lot of choice in their daily life. They have to wake up, they have to go into a job, and then, they have to do whatever their boss says, and that their biggest choice they get to make is like, do I order takeout for lunch or should I bring it from home? And you guys have the opposite thing. You can really set your own schedule, set your day. For my feminines, I really get the vibe that like you're going to have kind of a lot of the day to really decide, especially because I feel like the masculine here might be off working and might be off running the company. And like, yeah, they can take lots of time off, but you might have a lot of those days where you kind of, after your workout class, you're like, okay, I have this free stretch of time. Do I want to play tennis with my friends? Do I want to go shopping? Like you might even be a little bit bored sometimes, and you might be also doing this spiritual work on the side for those of you guys who are those kind of spiritual leaders. So let's get more cards. So we got Hummingbird Spirit Joy, Standing Stones Passage, and Mystic Meadow Sanctuary. I'm getting that a lot of you guys will have a really nice house, pretty large, and you guys will be able to decorate it really well in whatever your style is. I'm seeing for some of you guys a very modern house, like, all white or all beige and very like architectural and kind of sleek and stylish in a kind of minimalistic way. And for others of you, I'm seeing more of an ornate, beautiful house that's kind of like English vibes, like, the houses from Bridgerton. I've never seen it, but I've seen shots and like that kind of vibe where it's like very, very elaborate. And there's lots of detailing and there's lots of like beautiful antiques and expensive like filigree or whatever you want to call it. And it's just a beautiful space. Whatever you guys have, whatever your taste is, you're able to really afford that. And you're able to choose exactly what you guys want and fill your house with that kind of a stuff. Because again, money is no object for you guys. So we also got Childhood, Innocence, Eagle, Communion, and Mountain Strength. So much emphasis on you guys really having like this spiritual connection with spirit and doing a lot of this spiritual work. I also feel like with strength, a lot of you guys, again, with this health and fitness thing, I don't mean to talk about it, but I feel like you guys might be bodybuilding or not bodybuilding. I guess there's like a lot of negative stuff associated with that, which I didn't know, not like that intense, but just like working out in the gym and building muscle and lifting weights and that kind of a thing, or having a trainer or whatever. And you guys might have a lot of children. And I feel like, but I'm kind of getting the vibe of like 2 or 3 kids, but it's like a major part of your life. So not a ton, maybe even 1, 2, 3. So I'm not getting like 10 children here, but I feel like you guys are able to, that's a major part of your life. Like this is a major thing where you guys are constantly taking your kid to different places or talking with them after school. I feel like you guys have, again, the time to spend with them. You're not having to rush off to work. You're not having to, be really busy all the time with other obligations. You're really able to focus on them and give them your undivided attention. And if you guys vacation, I see that, which I'm sure you guys will, I see that you guys can take them on a lot of the nice vacations you go on. You probably take a bunch of couples trips with this person, with your lover, but you also probably spend, a few family vacations with this child. And again, you're very close to them. I feel like it's a major part of your life, but I also am just seeing that this kind of love relationship you have really centers the family. But children are coming in. So if you guys want children with your partner, I see that for sure happening. And if you don't, again, keep in mind the first card we got was the death card, so it might change and you might you might change your mind and want kids. So we got the Hawk Prince. So again, I don't want to just talk it a million times, but you guys are definitely possibly spiritual leaders or involved in spirituality, and both these cards relate to that. We got the Web Weaver as well. So a lot of confirmation with that. So we got First Light, beginning a new cycle, Wise Leader, you are a beacon for others, Wondrous Universe, walk in beauty and crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So I really feel like a big part of your life is going to be kind of keeping yourselves looking really beautiful, because, and I notice that a lot, again, when people have, a lot of money, it's almost like other concerns fall out of the way. So maybe they have more time to obsess over, like, I don't really like how my hips look or something like that. Something that the rest of us might be like, it looks awesome, but like they become really into that. So I feel like you guys are going to have lots of time, and maybe you're trying to, always make sure you look good because you're very into this partner, or in the social set you run in, there's a lot of like beautiful people or something like that. But I feel like you guys are going to be looking really good. You guys are going to be maintaining your looks for sure and spending time on that. So this is maybe why we're seeing all this kind of green juice yoga type of lifestyle where you guys really put effort into your appearance. And I feel like you guys might also like wake up, and if you have an event or whatever to go to that day, make sure your makeup is looking really good, make sure your outfits are on point. It's just, I feel like you guys have an emphasis on the health aspect. So I'm not seeing someone who's just solely focused on clothes and shopping. I feel like you guys might spend a lot of your day in like that yoga outfit that you wore to the yoga studio in the morning, and then you went shopping afterwards in it or whatever. But I feel like you guys do look really good. And when you choose to dress up, it's like you blow everyone else out of the water. So the final cards are Speaker, Travel, and Yoga. So you guys are traveling a lot. And this is a major aspect that I picked up for a lot of you guys, is travel, and that kind of glamorous upscale travel. I feel like you guys will spend a lot of your time with this partner traveling, because all of you have this interest in, or both of you, like you and this partner that you have this interest in travel, and you guys have the money at your disposal. So you're also going to be staying at more upscale places. I feel like if you were going to Paris, you probably stay at like the Four Seasons or something like that. And if you got, but I also am seeing this aspect that you guys might go on trips to kind of like remote places. Like you might really enjoy exploring and going into like a tiny little airport and, staying in like a tree house in the forest or something like that. I feel like you guys have this kind of thread of like unconventionality with you guys as a couple. It's so funny. I keep addressing you as you guys, but it's because you and the relationship, this is a major aspect. Like this other person, this lover, whoever they are, is just coming through so strong that it's like I'm not even able to really read your individual energy, because I'm reading both of you guys, because I feel like you guys are just so attached at the hip, and you have separate lives where I feel like your person, again, is more of like a business leader, or the masculine, I guess, is more of the business leader, but I feel like the feminine spends a lot of time, like I said, yoga, health, working out, personal development, that kind of a thing. And we got yoga here, and that keeps coming up. So maybe you guys are already into yoga, or you will be. Maybe you guys are like couch potatoes right now, but you guys will find yourselves really into health and fitness, because again, we keep getting that you guys are going to transform and it's going to be a very different thing. It's going to be a new cycle, and you guys might have some kind of a public platform with this, because also blue kyanite does rule over the throat chakra. So I feel like a lot of you guys, you might be speakers, you might be speaking out, you might be having some kind of a platform or a voice with this. So wait, I forgot about these cards. So we got tulip, great passion, fan, romance, celebration, party, November, hills, harp, crown, lightning, and ladder, climbing towards success. So I feel like some of you guys are building something in your life now that is going to lead to this. Even if you do end up having more of that lifestyle of leisure where you're not at a 9-to-5 job, or you're not at this job all the time, I feel like there's stuff you're building in your life. Maybe you're, you know, building your way into a career that will lead to you meeting this person or something like that at a social situation or something. I feel like a lot of you guys might have a view of the hills, and honestly, some of you guys might live in a place with like very intense seasons, is what I'm getting with this November thing, with a picture of the melting snow. So I'm not necessarily, I am seeing a little bit of LA for some of you guys, but I also see a place where there's like very intense seasons. So I'm almost seeing the modern vibe in LA. And then for those of you guys who live in this place with seasons, is where you would want more of that kind of, like I said, Bridgerton vibe, more of a classic and very ornate and beautiful, elaborate kind of vibe. So for those of you guys in this, I think you might have really pretty trees around you, hills, like greenery and meadows. And of course, in the wintertime, it would turn into snow and be blanketed in snow. I'm definitely seeing hills wherever you guys live. So even if it's in LA, maybe you'll have a house in the Hollywood Hills or something with a view of the rolling landscape. Or maybe you guys will be in like Calabasas or something, but it will be somewhere where there's hills around you and you can have a view of that and you can see them out your window. And I feel like you're just gonna really love where you live and love the land. Like, it's not like you live in like a tiny apartment, even if, you know, sometimes really tiny apartments or even just any size apartment can be in a really expensive area, but I'm definitely getting like a house vibe, and definitely someplace where you have access to nature and you can go outside, sit in the grass, lay down. And again, with this emphasis on parties, going out, socializing, having kind of a very fabulous social set that I feel like you guys are really going to enjoy. I'm seeing you guys really go to a lot of parties. Maybe this is where the death card comes in. Maybe you're like, I don't go to parties, I'm an introvert. Well, that might change. So let me get some astro dice for you guys. So we got the second house, Venus, oh my God, and Aries. I'm not surprised at all. These two relate because second house is ruled by Taurus and it relates to Venus. So this is kind of like the same energy, but I'll explain it in more detail. Second house does relate to wealth, abundance. It's also, it's earned income. It's also your partnerships and luxury and abundance and all of that. So that is definitely a major theme in this relationship. And Venus relates to these things as well. But Venus also relates to that partner. And like I said, you're so romantically connected to this person. But again, I feel like it's more of like a mature relationship. Like, I feel like you guys are obsessed and so into each other. But sometimes I think when people are obsessed when they're young, it can burn out because of like immaturity, like stupid arguments and stuff like that. Like someone who, you know, or runs away because they're like, I'm scared I'm going to lose this person and I have a fear of commitment, so let me sabotage it. I just feel like when you guys do come together, it's like you're going to have the maturity to be able to choose, like handle this relationship well, have these arguments correctly. And this card talks about that. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. So I feel like it's like something happens in your development where you're able to kind of like handle this type of intensity of a relationship, because honestly not everyone can, and you'll actually be able to maintain it and have it not just burn out and explode in like a very passionate but short-term type of fling. It's like you'll be able to sustain it and both of you will have the tools, and you guys have so much money, maybe you can afford to pay like a relationship counselor and see one all the time. And we also have this card, Tulip, confirming that as well. It says great passion. So honestly, you guys and this person, you just you're so into each other. This is just a major dynamic in this relationship. And we also got Aries. So Aries relates to the first house, which is kind of like the overall soul. It's also the ego, how someone can be perceived by others. So again, I'm really seeing for a lot of you guys that you guys might have some kind of a public platform and be seen by a lot of people. You're kind of a leader in some way. So is your partner. Maybe this is, but in like, it's funny in different ways. So like the masculine here would be the partner in more of a financial business CEO type sense. And then the feminine in more of like a like deep spiritual way. Like maybe they, you know, talk to people about spirituality in some way, or maybe they just are seen as like a spiritual type person, because you know not everyone who comes off as spiritual is like a yogi or is like a certified Reiki healer, but sometimes someone, you know, just writes beautifully or does something, but but they're getting spiritual downloads. Maybe they make art, but they're getting it from spirit. You know what I mean? They're getting their creativity, their inspiration from spiritual downloads. So I just see you guys as definitely a leader in whatever fields you guys are in and coming together in that way. And there's a lot of this fiery passion in this relationship. You know, when Aries is into something, it's all the way in. And that's how I feel like you guys are about each other. So yeah, I feel like you guys are going to have a really interesting life in the future. This is a super fun kind of lifestyle. I think it's yeah, I think it requires kind of a lot of energy, but then you'll also have that time to rest, to rejuvenate, and you're just so connected with your person. So if you, maybe some of you guys are commitment phobes or something and you're like, I just would never commit like this. But again, Spirit is saying that a lot of you guys are going to change to match up into this energy and to have it be in energetic alignment. So I really hope it helped you guys. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know if you think this is crazy, because we did get the death card. So I assume for a lot of you guys, this is like totally opposite and you're like, no, no, no. But I want to hear from you guys. So let me know, give it a big thumbs up as well. And if you want to check out my additional readings, you can always head over to my Patreon. Link is in my bio for that. And make sure subscribed over here as well and have those notifications on to see more of my readings. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Oops. And I will see you guys in the next reading. So take care of yourselves and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey pile 2, so if you guys picked this beautiful desert rose selenite crystal, this is going to be your reading. For your pick a card, you guys got Sisters of the Season, Cycles of Growth, Natural Law, Divine Order. And for your tarot, you got the 9 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Knight of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the Emperor, Queen of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. So I actually pulled these 6 first and I was just like, oh my god, is every wand card gonna come out of this deck? So you know, wand energy is so fiery, full of life, full of passion. So I can see that whatever you guys are doing in your future, I feel like it's a very active, engaged, busy life, busy day in your life where you guys probably have a very full schedule of doing stuff, like you wake up early and you go to bed late and your schedule is stacked throughout that. But honestly, I'm also seeing you guys occupy some kind of elevated position with the Emperor and with the 9 and 10 of Wands. You guys obviously, and the Queen of Wands, you guys obviously have achieved something, have done something. So maybe you own a business, own a company, or you're in some high up position, CEO, or high up there like a president, vice president, or something where you have a lot of responsibility, a lot of duties, but also probably making a lot of money and with a lot of reward. So with the 8 of Pentacles, I see like you guys would be actively working, you would be involved in this in your day-to-day life. So I feel like your schedule would be very revolving around that. And I do want to talk about, you know, these kinds of cards, 10 of Wands and 9 of Wands, they do talk about having achieved a lot, especially through that force of wand energy. So wand energy is very invigorated and passionate. It's fire. So when we think about, you know, fire is passion, fire is like being excited about what you do. Fire is being unafraid to like get in there and feel strongly about something and go for it. And so there's very much this energy hanging around. But sometimes in that way, like fire, when it comes to the top of the deck, can talk about having so much of that energy that sometimes you don't balance your schedule or balance your plate a little bit. Like you don't have, sometimes it can be, you know how sometimes people will manifest like, oh, I want this kind of a life. I want to be the head of my company. And then they get there and then they're like, I have literally the busiest schedule ever. Or how many people who are like celebrities or something will talk about how they're so exhausted and, you know, maybe they do make a lot of money, but they're also really burnt out. So I'm almost seeing you guys might have a schedule like that where people find it enviable. People are like, wow, this person has achieved so much. And it's not to make you guys down in the dumps, but I do see maybe at a certain point you guys would put up boundaries about like, you know, I've worked a lot and it's time for me to chill a little bit. And, you know, maybe I'm going to create more balance with the Four of Pentacles to make sure that I have that day off and I had that time off. But honestly, I feel like you guys would be very involved in this and enjoy this life. I don't think it would be like, oh my God, I have to go into work and I'm so down in the dumps about it. And, you know, this is such a bummer for me. But there is going to be a day in your future where I feel like you guys have this elevated position. You're doing a lot of high level type of work. You have a lot on your plate and your busy schedule is stacked. It's absolutely, you know, there's like no break in the day. So yeah, but again, there's a very beautiful kind of sensuality, passion, enjoyment of life, enjoyment of really, like, you know, fire is like warmth. Fire is like the fire that we literally would all gather around, you know, to get warmth in a cold night. But it can also, if it's not brought under control, it can burn things down, right? It can be very dangerous. So I feel like you guys have so much energy in this pile, and I'm literally feeling energized as I tap into your energy. So I feel like whatever you guys are doing in this life, it's very busy. So let's get more energy and let's get more cards. So we got Inner Child, Divination, and Flourish. And there's like a little fire right on the middle of that pile. As I was saying, gather around the fire to get warm. And there is this spiritual component to fire energy. They are very psychic and intuitive. So I do feel like you guys may be doing some kind of psychic work or have that on the side. Maybe that's a part of your ritual. I know a lot of people who have really busy schedules. They start their day off with like meditating or doing yoga or doing some kind of spiritual practice, even like pulling tarot or whatever it may be. But it's like, how many CEOs can you think of that have, you know, a psychic that they call and consult, or have, you know, a yoga retreat they go to, or ayahuasca or something like that. So I feel like a lot of you guys have this component worked into your schedule and your day. But like I said, you guys are doing really well. You're happy with this. Other people might look at this schedule and be like, oh my God, it's way too much. And maybe you guys do reach a point where you're like, it's time for me to balance this. But I feel like a lot of you guys enjoy this lifestyle. For some of you guys, this could be going out and like partying as well. Like, you know, work hard, play hard. Like one of those people who has a really high level job, but then afterwards they're also, you know, going out to the club and staying out until 3 a.m. and they just love their life. You know, it's just like someone who's like super involved in life and really passionate, and it's enjoyable to them. Like they're not sitting on the sidelines and like just reading a book at night and it's nice and quiet and they're sipping some tea. They're like out raging, whether they're at work or whether they're at play. It's that same energy of like excitement and passion. So for some of you guys, it may also be kind of having fun, and that side of life that's like going out to restaurants and then going out to get drinks afterwards and then going to a club and just very engaged in life is the energy. And with the Queen of Wands, you guys might be very attractive. You know, you guys might be kind of a little sex symbol at this future day in your life. You might be looking really good, but I see you guys as having this very active, kind of glamorous type of life that is definitely like busy, busy, busy. And I feel like a lot of people would look in on this and just be like, wow, this person, I don't know how they do so much. You know how people will say like, well, you have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce. Maybe they'll use your name for that and think of you as like a role model for accomplishing stuff. But I see you guys are willing to push through a lot of like hardships, and I really respect that about this kind of energy. So we also got Inner Child. I feel like a day in your life as well. Either you're just in playful energy yourself, or you might have children on the side, but we'll get into that later. And I don't mean to say on the side, like they're hidden or something. I just mean it's not the focus right now, but we do have a couple cards about children. So I wonder if some of you guys, you know, will at this future day in your life, you will have had kids. And maybe that's a part of why your schedule is so busy, is like you're just, you know, you're that mom that's like CEO, and then she's gonna run to her personal trainer afterwards, and then she sees her kids, and everything is just, you know, schedule stacked. So we got Goddess of the Moon, Magician in the Mirror, Anxiety, and Angel of Strength. So you guys are really strong. And I also feel like you guys might do kind of either like personal training, not necessarily yourself, although it could be, but like maybe you hire a personal trainer, or you have a really strong fitness regime. You know, to maintain a schedule like this, someone would probably have to eat pretty healthy and keep themselves well rested. Although I don't know, this is like the vibe to me of like one of those people that's like, I run on 4 hours of sleep a night, and I'm always like, I could not imagine how. But you know, maybe you guys are that person that just like, you are so full of energy that you don't really need coffee, or you drink coffee for fun, but like you're just naturally very vital and full of energy. With Goddess of the Moon, again, you guys are pretty psychic, and a lot of fire signs are like that. You know, they're very intuitive, not in the way water is, but more of that instinctive. I often find like people who have Aries placements, Leo placements, Sag, it's like they'll just know, and they don't really need to go deep inside it like a water sign and be like, okay, so it's this and it's that. They're just like, it's this, and they don't really want to like question it, but they just know. And there's that instinctual, because that's how fire energy tends to act, is like they don't sit around and think it over. They don't overthink, they just do. And kind of like when you think about, you know, it's like the muscle movement, what I'm getting in my head of like how a monkey moves through the trees. I know this is weird, but you know how like a monkey will just swing from vine to vine, and sometimes you watch it and they're moving so fast that you're like, how the F are they processing that? Like, are they, because if we were doing it, you know, we would be like, okay, that vine is over here, I think I can get it to it, maybe if I'll just try to go over here, but if I turn that way, we'd be way overthinking it. But the monkeys, you know, their minds just work so fast, and they don't doubt. They need to have that kind of just instant speed with how they act in order to safely carry off such a quick series of movements. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of fire energy a lot of times, is like they kind of, people will be like, how does that person do stuff? They're so reckless. Why don't they get in trouble? And a lot of fire signs do that because, in my opinion, they're working on a very psychic place. Like they're just instinctual, you know, they don't sit around and overthink it too much. So I feel like you guys are very psychic. Maybe you use this in your work. Maybe you guys like have those decisions where you make them off, like you have to make 50 decisions in a day, and you're just making them one after the other. And I find, again, a lot of people that have to do that, they tend to just start relying on their intuition, and a lot of times they make really good decisions because of that. But yeah, it's almost like other people might have anxiety, and sometimes you guys might get overwhelmed with just the volume of decisions you're making and the level of responsibility on your shoulders, because you guys are 10 of Wands. You guys have done a lot, achieved a lot, but you have a lot on your plate. And so again, I feel like a lot of people look up to you. I feel like a lot of people are looking at you and just in awe of how much you guys get done. And again, with the schedule, like I feel like you guys probably wake up, go to a workout class, you know, maybe go get coffee with a friend. Then you're, you know, that person that like, maybe you're like, hey girl, let's get together. And she's like, well, I can pencil you in for 15 minutes on Tuesday morning, or I have, you know, a half hour on Saturday in between me going to Pilates and then meeting someone else. And you're like, oh my God, how is your schedule this crazy? Like, I feel like that's you guys. You guys would be that person that just is always out and about, always doing stuff. Everyone is just like, wow, how is this person so busy? How do they do so much stuff? And I feel like you guys you're very efficient. You just get stuff done. So yeah, let's get more cards for you guys. So we also got Clouds, Shapeshifting, and autumnal equinox release and fog veiled. So with this one, I really try to tune into the energy of where you guys might live. So it might be a place that has definite seasons and also maybe some fog as well. So, any place, I feel like those two places usually go together anyway, like in my experience. So maybe it would be somewhere like on the East Coast or up in Northern California or the Pacific Northwest, or even I know there's a lot of places in the Midwest with a lot of seasons as well, or like Colorado, but it might have some mountains or something so you can see the fog. And it's like, yeah, I could definitely see some of you guys on the East Coast because I feel like it's that really quick energy, or maybe like I said, Northern California or Pacific Northwest, but somewhere that's really busy. And I guess there's Chicago, but it's like, I feel like it's just so fast paced that I'm kind of like, is this a city? I guess you could definitely have this lifestyle in other places as well, but I definitely see you guys as just running around the place, like running to coffee, running to yoga, running to get drinks afterwards. So someplace with a lot of those kinds of resources that you'd be living in, where there's like a dance studio and an art museum and a million things to do and a million places to go and people to see. That would be the vibe, is what I'm getting. And so again, it would probably be a city too, in a place that has some seasons. So where the leaves turn red, and where there's some trees, tall trees. And so I feel like it could be like a desert city. It definitely could be. So if you're like, well, I'm kind of living in a desert place, but it is a big city and it fits that criteria, then it totally could be. But that's just what I'm getting for a lot of you guys in this future, is like, it's a very exciting type of place that you're living in. And I kind of think, yeah, a lot of times, sometimes when it's like too warm, people get really chill. I think they've proven that like efficiency goes down when they study it. I guess when you're like really relaxed and everything is nice and warm and balmy, you just, I don't know, like you just want to chill. So anyway, I feel like this is like kind of cold weather vibes of like work hard, play hard, and let's go, let's be tough. So anyway, let's get more cards for you guys. So we got the Lady of Lightning, surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift, the Soul Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing, and the Ringmaster of scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, details. So like I said, so much spiritual and psychic energy coming through in this reading. You guys are going to be very psychically on point in the future. And I see you guys making a lot of these, and you know what, just sorry to interrupt myself, but this just stood out to me. As I'm saying you guys are going to have seasons, the first card you guys pulled was Sisters of the Seasons, and it has a bunch of red leaves. So again, just confirmation, because that's in the same card pull. But anyway, so we got Lady of Lightning, and I just feel like you guys are there's something almost surprising about your energy, or just so vital. I think sometimes people can take that fire signs like that, because fire signs are a bit of a shock, because again, they tend not to think before they act, they just do. And just like a fire is always a shocking event, much more so than air or water, or there can be like water that's shocking, like a tsunami, or there can be air that's shocking, like a hurricane. But for the most part, like fire period is going to be shocking. There's no situation where you're not going to see a fire pop up and not be like, oh my God. And that's kind of how fire is. It's vital. It's revitalizing. It's like a shock to the system in a good way. It's like, it kind of slaps people out of complacency. And that's kind of what you do. Like, you might be that person in people's lives where they meet you, and afterwards you notice that they're like, suddenly they were never working out and suddenly they start working out, or they were never into a certain band and you talk to them about it and now they're like obsessed with the band. But I feel like your enthusiasm, the way you live your life in this future day where you're just going for it, you are like full send into everything, you are 100%, you're not sitting on the sidelines, inspires a lot of people. And I feel like you guys are going to be a bit of a role model out your workplace. For a lot of you guys, I feel like you might own your own company, or maybe be an entrepreneur or work for yourself. And maybe this is why you're so busy, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, like, they have to do everything, or they have to do extra. So, they're just extra busy. But I feel like regardless, the people that work for you in whatever capacity, they're really going to look up to how you carry yourself and how you guys move through this world. And they see you as very, again, psychic. You guys are getting a lot of these downloads from spirit. But I feel like, again, it's not that you're sitting around in an ashram meditating in silence. It's that you guys have a different kind of psychic knowledge, which is that instinctual one, which honestly is a very potent form of it. That's why we call it, a gut feeling, or like use your intuition. Sometimes it's like, I think a lot of people who are getting into their intuition, I tell them, like, just listen to the first instinct you have, or just try to start listening to the very first thought that occurs to you about someone or some situation, and then just try following that and see what happens. And because a lot of times those first initial split second things that come into our mind, and then we talk ourselves out of it, like, oh, that's not, no, that's, I shouldn't, well, maybe this job's going to be really good. I know, no, why do I think that? This is a great job. Why am I even doubting this? Like, that's, that's our mental brain. And actually it's the intuition that comes in so quick and so fast that is the psychic download, not our deep thoughts when we overthink it. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you already do that. You already know this, or at least in this position you're in, you have mastered that quick decision making based on your intuition. And you guys have a lot of psychic gifts in this pile. You might even be working on developing it at the side, because again, I see you guys as just very busy in your life. So I could see you guys as being that person that hits up a yoga studio, or hits up, classes, development classes after work. You're just very engaged. So we got community, release, and enlightenment. So community, you guys, I feel like are popular, have a lot of friends. You're busy. You got a lot going on. You might be traveling. You might be sailing. Again, with this red leaf energy and like red fall energy, maybe you guys really like fall or something like that. Autumn energy coming through. I don't know, but I feel like you guys will be in a place where there's either trees, not necessarily naturally, because maybe it's a city with no trees, like, or very few trees left, but it would be an area there where there was naturally, trees, like a forest, and then maybe they cleared it. But you know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, and some of the things in your life that are there right now, maybe you guys will release some of them. So I'm almost seeing like some of you guys, not everyone, but I feel like some of you guys, maybe you're not as close to family or certain friends you have now, because again, I see you guys in this level up process as having released some people from your life, and it's like let go of certain relationships on your way up. And it's like, that's necessary, is what Spirit is saying, is like, as you've kind of built this empire and done this stuff for yourself, you have attracted a lot of haters. And honestly, that can be a huge thing with the 10 of Wands, because Wands are also, they can be conflict. And so why does conflict happen when you're at the 10 of Wands? And why are so many of the higher level Wands showing conflict? It's because no one really cares or is going to get offended with you when you're not doing anything important, when you're just not threatening them, and when someone's not jealous of you. But once you've achieved a lot, people tend to get jealous and start fighting you. And a lot of people, they don't factor that in to like, I want to do this one day. They don't realize that like that's going to come with the haters and the mean people and whatever. But it's like, it's just a part of it, and you just have to block it out. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have to like release certain relationships and certain people, and you become a good reader of people. So the people you have left, or the new people in your life, you're very close to, and you have a lot of these friendships that I think are a huge, huge, huge part of your life. So we got Woodwives, adaptability, crown games, right use of power, many masks, the authentic self. You guys feel very authentic in this future day in your life. I feel like you guys would go to meetings, you'd talk to people, you would give your opinion decisively. You're not like a mealy mouth type of milk toast person who's like, I don't know what to say. Well, maybe I should tell them this. Well, okay, let me retype this email. You're just like very blunt. I feel like, again, I notice this with a lot of people in authority. They don't really have time to sit around and like overthink an email, because they have like 45 to send in a day. So they just get used to the habit of just boom, get it out of the way, get it out of the way, get it out of the way. And I'm hearing, I think it was, at least I heard it from Kris Jenner. I doubt she came up with the quote, but it was something like, if you want something done, ask the busiest person you know. And that's coming to my mind for you guys, is you guys are that person that's already so busy, but you're so efficient, you'll get something else done. Maybe you'll be like a Kris Jenner type of job, just like managing, PR, or putting out a lot of fires all the time, putting out a lot of PR crises that they're always having, So maybe you guys will be just constantly on your phone, busy, but it's something you like and you enjoy. Because, like, at this point, Kris Jenner doesn't need to still be doing that, right? She could easily quit. She still obviously likes it for whatever reason. So I feel like you guys are going to like it, and you guys have this kind of crown. But it's interesting that for this card, Crown Games, it's talking about conflict and kind of, or at least that's one of the things that's coming to mind for me, and misuse of power and all these things and the responsibilities of power. And I almost feel like, again, you're going to have people who are very competitive with you because you guys achieve so much. But there's a lot of opportunity here for growth. There's a lot of like constant financial opportunities. I almost feel like, you know, this is the kind of energy of someone who would hustle a lot in their youth and then be able to retire early if they wanted to, but you guys might not even want to retire because I feel like you're loving this. You enjoy your lifestyle, you enjoy your life. And you guys are kind of like with Woodwife's adaptability, like you're adaptable. You guys are really good at dealing with this kind of stuff. If someone presents you with a problem or comes to you with something, you're good at switching lanes. You're good at like working hard and then going into play mode. So like having a business meeting and then immediately afterwards meeting the girls for drinks. So it's kind of like a Sex in the City vibe, to be honest. Okay, so we got fogged in, go slow, take time, staying focused, hold the course, joy and delight, open your heart to joy, and protected by angels. Very protected energy. So if you guys are nervous and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have all these haters come for me and all these jealous people, don't be, because you guys are highly protected in this energy. You guys definitely, I feel like if some of you guys are like, you're trying to manifest or build something, and now after this reading, maybe some of you guys would be like, oh God, like that sounds like a lot of stress. I don't want to do that. I feel like your guides with Hold the Course are saying like, you absolutely can get through this. This is just a natural part of someone who's achieving something, is like, you're going to have people that resent you for it. You're going to have people who are just jealous because they want what you have, or they tried to do it and they couldn't, you know, so just don't even worry about it. Just ignore. And again, with this kind of joyful, childish energy coming in, I really feel like some of you guys, you might have children. And if you do, I feel like you would have like the best of the best for them. Like you would put them in private school, or you would introduce them to, like, I'm hearing posh friends. So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but you guys might have like other high achieving parents around you, you know, maybe like at the Montessori or whatever, it's expensive. And a lot of the parents are also like very successful in business or something like that, or have a lot of money. But it's like, I feel like you guys would just really make the best for your child and keep them really busy and keep them really active. And just make sure they wake up earlier, they go to summer camp and they're taking like French and, you know, or whatever language, and they are just always like leveling up too, because I feel like you guys kind of figured out this secret formula to life where you guys are just using your enthusiasm and taking every day and putting your all into it, and you want them to do the same. But I feel like, again, you really enjoy your life. You guys are not like, I think you guys are busy in a fun, enjoyable way. I feel like your schedule and your day in your life is like, you wake up, again, you make yourself coffee, or you might not even need it. You kind of go for a run, then you hit up a Pilates class, then you're off to work, you stop at Starbucks, you meet up with your assistant, then you go to lunch. I mean, if I went through your whole schedule, it'd be like, you guys would be like asleep, because it would take me a while, because you guys are going to be having meetings throughout the day, having different lunches, going to drinks afterwards, then having a business dinner, then going to a party. Like, it's like you're so busy. You guys have so much going on, but I feel like it's in a positive, fun way and in a glamorous way, to be honest. Like, I feel like there's a lot of glamour surrounding you, and you did get the Queen of Wands, so people find you very attractive, and you're well kind of taken care of. Like, you can afford the best skin products, you can afford to go on the nicest vacations and buy the best clothes, and like, you guys are looking good, you're looking sexy, a lot of people are noticing you guys, and it's just a fun life, even though it might seem a little daunting, or like, what? How am I gonna keep up with that schedule? That's what Spirit is saying. You know, we got so many wand cards, it's crazy. So they are letting you know that that is definitely your schedule. You're going to be busy as heck, but I think you're going to love it. So let's get some astro dice for pile 2. So we got the second house. We got Capricorn. Wow. I love when spirit just confirms like everything. So we got Capricorn and we got Saturn, which is totally not a surprise because Capricorn is the hard worker of the zodiac, the little mountain goat that can scale any mountain, no matter how tiny a mountain goat is. You will see them like even I've seen footage of a mountain goat scaling up a brick wall because they'll just find like the tiniest sliver of a ledge and they'll just step up on it. And that's kind of your guys' energy. Like I said, you discovered the secret of life. You know how to just put your energy into something so many times until it happens, and just try again and work hard and pour your energy and enthusiasm into something. As the saying goes, even a huge oak tree will fall after 100 strikes of the axe. So you guys just, if you push so hard on something, you know that sooner or later it's going to happen, and you're always coming in with that enthusiasm of like someone else who's like, I need a break, and you're like, I'll work 10 times as hard, I'll work 50 times as hard, but I'm doing it, I'm getting it done. I don't care how much it takes me. I don't care how tired I am, I'm going to keep pushing. And you guys figured that out, and now you have all this wealth and abundance, and people are also seeing it. 10th house is a house of honors, it's a house of a work schedule, so that's busy, and these relate to the 10th house. So you guys, again, your work schedule is stacked, busy, and also it's a house of like honors and how others perceive you. And so you're on a lot of people are noticing you. Maybe you'll be in a magazine or something of like an achiever, or or just like interview with this person, and people want to know your kind of special sauce because they feel like you have this glamorous achieving vibe, and people love to see people who manage to do both, manage to look good and run a company and kind of have it all. And then second house of abundance and wealth. So they are seriously coming in with this to say you guys are going to be like rich and very wealthy and have a lot of luxury around you as well, because the second house is also luxury. It's really nice things and really like beautiful objects, beautiful items. It can also relate to love. And like I mentioned, I feel like you guys are going to have a very spicy love life and kind of have your choice. I don't know if I said that, but with the Queen of Wands, you guys might have your choice of suitors. You might have a lot of people interested in you, a lot of people who want to date you. Add that to your list of this day, because honestly, your day is so stacked. I'm just like, how do I mention everything? But yeah, you guys probably have a million people who want to date you, or if you're in a serious relationship, it's with someone who's very attractive, with someone who's pretty sexy themselves, or you're just like their sex symbol, and they're, maybe they like just have a lot of money too or something, but you look good, and maybe I just get you guys are like this center of desire, you know what I mean? And so many people are looking at you like, wow, that person they look good, they're in this wealthy vibe, and also this company. You guys definitely are going to be busy and somehow like active all the time. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. You might have to make sure you're getting your sleep in and taking your vitamins, but you're going to really enjoy this. So let me know if it resonated, pile 2. I would love to hear about this pile. I want to know all about, if this would be a fun lifestyle for you guys, or if you're like, oh no, I need my sleep. But let me know in the comments, and make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up as well. And if you want to check out my additional readings over at my Patreon, you can see those. Link is in my bio for that if you want to watch some of those. And make sure you're subscribed over here with notifications on if you want to see more of my readings. I am sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you all have an amazing, incredible day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey pile 3, so if you guys picked this beautiful amethyst crystal, this is going to be your reading. So for your pick a card, you guys got Judgment, and for the tarot, you guys got the Hierophant, the Lovers, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, the World, 10 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. So the first thing sticking out to me for you guys is that you guys got the 2 major soulmate cards in tarot, the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. So I can see that you guys are very romantically connected to someone at this point in your life, and this is probably a major part of your day. So this could be a husband, a wife, a spouse, or a very serious relationship. I am getting spouse vibes for most of you guys, and I do feel like you guys would probably wake up next to each other in bed, have breakfast together, have coffee together. Maybe you guys are meeting up at some point during the day or at the end of the day, having dinner together and spending the night together. But it just feels like this is a major part of your day and a major part of your life at this time. So you guys are very intimately connected connected with this person. It's not like one of those relationships where you kind of see each other, but the feelings aren't that much together, or you have separate bedrooms, but you're not super in love. It feels like the passion, the romance is very much alive, and you guys are just so drawn to them. This is, like I said, a huge part of your life, a huge part of your day, and it definitely is going to just be a major part of you guys. So that's coming through. Another thing coming through is that you guys are going to be busy. I feel like you guys are quite successful at this point in your life with the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So I can see that you guys are busy, you're working, and to a certain extent the Knight of Wands as well. Like, you guys are having to use a lot of energy, and probably schedule is booked. Like, maybe you have a quiet breakfast with your spouse, but then after that it's like we're off to the races. You guys are busy, you guys are working, you guys are active, there is a schedule booked, and there's not a lot of time in the day to just chill and relax. So it feels like you guys are quite wealthy on your own, and if your spouse has money as well, then that could, that would be great. But I also feel like you guys like earning money at whatever you're doing. You guys are earning money, and you're still working. It feels like it, even if your spouse has a lot of money, it doesn't feel like you're like, I'm gonna quit my job and just be at home. It feels like you guys are, for whatever reason, very engaged in this career, and it's a major part of your life. For some of you guys, this would have to do with social media, because we did get the World, which can relate to, either fame or some kind of a public platform that reaches multiple people around the world. So it could be Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or something. But I can see a lot of you guys are on some kind of a public platform in some way, or else you have customers all over the world. But I'm getting social media for a lot of you guys. So it's like either you use social media through your job, or that is your job. But I feel like you guys are going to be very busy with this, and kind of on an elevated platform. We also got the Hierophant. And so a lot of you guys are going to be looked up to by people. A lot of you guys might even be considered a spiritual leader of some kind. And I always say that you don't need to be, doing technically spiritual work to be a spiritual person giving spiritual work to the world. So by that, I guess I mean, you don't have to be like a pastor, or you don't have to be a tarot reader, or anything like that to be giving spiritual work to the world. You can be, I watch, sometimes I'll watch food videos that just cheer me up for some reason and comfort me. I don't know. And I like enjoy watching them, or like little animal videos, you know what I mean? And those to me are so satisfying. I love those pet otters. Like, all of them are so adorable. So it's like that's not technically spiritual work, like filming an otter swimming around in its little bathtub. But to me, it makes me so happy to view, and it gives me joy. So you don't have to be doing technically spiritual work, although some of you guys might be. But either way, you guys have some kind of a mission, something that you guys are sharing. And that's actually what this card talks about. It says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path. And I feel like you guys followed that. Like, I feel like some of you guys, you might have even done something outside of the norm. But what's interesting with the Hierophant is that somehow you guys do fit into some kind of a community, I feel, because the Hierophant is generally a card that is kind of about tradition and respect in more of a traditional way. So it might even be something where like you do something outside the norm that's a little unconventional, but you're still really accepted within a traditional community. Maybe you live in like a community where everyone wears button downs and most people have a 9 to 5, but like you're right a part of them. You know what I mean? Even though you're doing something different. Or maybe some of you guys, you come from a strict family, but like they love the fact that you have a really active Instagram, or whatever. I just feel like there's this aspect of you guys really enjoying the community you're with. And I honestly feel like for some of you guys, that's linked to this partner you have, because I feel like they might be really well respected within the community. So maybe even though you guys are doing something a little outside the norm, they're like, oh yeah, well, they're married to him, so like it's okay. Yeah, we'll let them in. I don't know. That's just coming through for some of you guys, but you guys are very busy. This day is going to be very active. And like I said, very stacked. With the Knight of Wands, you guys are probably getting a lot of stuff done and just using a lot of energy. So let's get into more cards. So we got Magical Gateway, Moon Energy, New Beginnings, and Temptation. And I don't even think I mentioned it, but I want to talk quickly about how the World very well could mean that a lot of you guys are going to be moving either internationally or within the country you're in, but in a totally different place. So different city, different vibe, maybe across the country, but like more of a significant move. And I feel like you guys very well could be living in a different country or a different place within the country, like I said, but it's going to be new for you guys. And again, I feel like some of you guys, that could mean social media, but I really am getting a move to another place for a lot of you guys. So let's talk about these new cards. We got Magical Gateway, Moon Energy, New Beginnings, and Temptation. I feel like I said, this is new for you guys. And some of you guys, I feel like at first you might be a little resistant to this, whatever this is coming in. There may be this path that you guys are on at first, that you're on now, that's leading to this end result. And at first, some of you guys are having doubts about it, having questions like, is this what I should do? Is this my path? And I always think the best way to decide that is if you feel like it's your calling, if it's something you feel kind of like you have to do, a message you have to get out there, something that only you can say, and you're like, gosh, why is no one else saying this? That's a great indication that that's a special message that God has anointed you with, or spirit, whatever name you want to call it. But I just feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe you're right now questioning, like, am I doing the right thing? Or you're worried with this Hierophant card about stepping outside the norm, putting yourself out there on social media in some way. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, is maybe they have something to spread to the world, but they don't want to put themselves in any kind of spotlight. They don't want to have the spotlight on them. And I just feel like for a lot of you guys, if you're in that position where you're kind of doubting or going back and forth, like, I feel like you guys really are on the right path, but you have to have that bravery to step through this magical gateway. And wherever you are on that path, whether you've already stepped through or you're at the very beginning and kind of holding the door and not sure if you want to go through or not, I feel like you should know that this path is going to lead you to this huge fulfillment and happiness and joy and this beautiful relationship with this soulmate as well. So definitely I would encourage you guys to step on through, follow that path down. And with moon energy, again, there's a spiritual dimension to this. And whenever people follow their spiritual mission for the lifetime, they get huge, massive amounts of good karma, because it's really doing your mission on this planet that you got sent here to do. So they get so excited and happy, kind of like when, someone carries out a mission for the boss and like actually like goes above and beyond and like exceeds expectations, and how the boss will give them like a bonus or something like that and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you saved the company, let me promote you. So there's so much to be gained from stepping into our destiny, even when it can feel daunting and really hard. I also feel like with temptation coming in, a lot of you guys are going to be very drawn to your partner in a very romantic and sexual way. Like you guys just feel very into each other on such a deep level, like you just can't get enough of each other. I feel like however you guys look, like you and your partner are going to be each other's kind of ideal type of like just gorgeous, that your idea of beauty will be what they look like, you know what I mean? And their idea of beauty is what you will look like. So if they are attracted to people with dark hair, that's what you'll have. And if you're attracted to people with blonde hair, that's what they'll have. And whatever it is, it's just you guys are going to be so drawn, so into each other, find each other so hot, and feel like you both like won the lottery and won a prize. So this is a very spicy relationship. So this is a lot of passion, a lot of that kind of energy. And for some of you guys, you might be like, that's not my vibe, or I'm not really, I'm kind of just a loner, or maybe you're not thinking you want this kind of intensity of a relationship, but I feel like your perspective might change. And Spirit's saying, just be open to this and just be open to the path we're taking you down. But let's talk more about your day. So we also got purpose, gratitude, surrender, and humor. So this is kind of, the surrender card is kind of what I was talking to you about, and the purpose card. Like, I think sometimes when we are pursuing our purpose, it can feel really scary, and there's this definite sense of like, am I doing the right thing? Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? And I think that that's when you have to surrender to Spirit, because I can tell you, doing this work, most of the time, the like most intense messages I get make no sense to me. Like, I'll be told to mention something to someone during a private reading, and I'm like, I sound like an insane person bringing up like cranberries in the middle of a reading, and then I say it to them, and then they get emotional. So that's the thing, is like a lot of times messages from Spirit, they don't make sense to us in the natural. Like, we're thinking about it from one perspective, we're thinking about it from our human vision, and we're like, this doesn't make sense. But they see a vision we can't. So whenever you guys feel called to something, you should really, really listen to that and just surrender and just accept that I'm not going to know what's going on really until the end, because I don't have that vision of being higher up, like God, my guides, angels. my ancestors, they have the vision that I don't have. So let me just go ahead and trust them. So I know I just really want that message to come through to you guys, because I feel like if you guys can take this path, you're going to be so happy and grateful. You're going to love this so much and have so much joy in what you do. You guys are just going to be so like happy with your lives and just joyful and like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, this is a dream. I can't wait. Like, when am I going to wake up? Pinch me. Am I dreaming? Because it's probably something a lot of you guys didn't even think could happen like this. And also with part of your day with humor coming through, maybe you are speaking out loud or giving some kind of a voice. So like I said, I could see TikTok or YouTube or even Instagram Reels or something, or even like Instagram long posts or writing. But I feel like you guys are sharing stuff with the world, sharing your perspective, your opinion, some kind of a voice that you guys will have that the whole world is going to pick up on. So it's going to be, I think, really amazing for you guys to step into this energy. Let's get more cards. These are our career cards. So you guys got healer, artist, leadership, and family. So again, with this energy, it's just coming through really strong that you guys have some kind of spiritual purpose in this deck. You guys, we got healer, artist, which, like I was saying, you don't have to be doing literally spiritual work and being like a Reiki healer to be a healer. You can do it through art. I mean, art is so healing, and I think it's like the same kind of work as psychic work. To me, it activates the same parts of the brain. And I think they've done brain scans of like monks and then like violinists, and they found it's literally the same part of the brain being activated during the deep meditation for the monks and like the deep music playing for the violinist. So it really is like you could be doing something artistic or just creative in some way. Even if it's not that traditional spirituality, it's going to be giving hope to people and joy to people. So whatever that is for you guys, you know, that's kind of the fun of life, is figuring out how you can share your gift. But I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be doing that within this group and then becoming leaders in this somehow. So standing out within the crowd, so having a following or having people notice you in some way. For also, a lot of you guys are going to be creating a family with this person. So you guys are going to be having kids. And I feel like you're just really in love with this family. Some of you guys, I feel in this pile, came from rough, difficult families, or there was fighting, or you just never had that like happy mom, dad, perfect situation that you really wanted. Or if you did, maybe you were like, I really wanted to replicate that. But like, I feel like there's a lot of hardship for some of you guys within the family sector somehow. So maybe you couldn't have kids of your own for a while, or you've been trying, or, you know, or you had a tough family in some way. But it's like, I could see Saturn in the fourth house or something. I just feel like for a lot of you guys, there's been hardships when it came to family. And so don't like, don't worry too much, because again, once you get on your purpose, God just rains down the rewards. And I feel like you guys are going to have access to like a really beautiful family, and you guys are going to have kids of your own. And if you meet this soulmate, you guys will create this beautiful family together. So let's get more cards. So we got Gaia's Garden, fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow, the spiral dancer, circuitous route, perception, and the desert prince, survival, false promises, and the queen of the light, illumination, enlightenment, celebration. So with Gaia's Garden, again, that just confirmation that you guys are going to be really doing well financially, very wealthy. You guys are going to be well off, which I can definitely get that vibe from it. I'm seeing you guys having like a beautiful house, a beautiful lifestyle, beautiful clothes, and really being able to buy whatever you want. But it's funny because again, I'm not getting like retirement vibes or like I just want to relax on like a yacht kind of vibes. It's like maybe you could afford that, but you guys, I feel, really love what you're doing and it serves your soul purpose somehow. So you're happy to keep going. You enjoy this. You guys are the queen of the light that is giving light to the world. And that's really gratifying on its own for you. So you don't want to stop working. You guys enjoy it. You like waking up and heading into the office and doing all of that. I also feel like with the Desert Prince, like they made this guy really cute. They didn't need to give him like six-pack abs and this little floppy blonde hair and cute bone structure. I don't know if you guys can see him that well with the camera. But I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to, like I said, be very attracted to your partner. Like I feel like they're going to look good objectively and you're going to be like, dang, I can't believe they're with me kind of a vibe. You know, both of you will feel that way, which I always think is the best dynamic. Like when both parties feel so lucky to be with the other, that's like the happiest, most gorgeous vibe for a relationship, in my opinion. So I feel like you're going to be very attracted to them. And again, they're going to be very attracted to you. That girl came out over here and she's kind of feminine type body and she just looks really beautiful. So I feel like both of you guys are going to be very attracted to each other. And again, it's like, even though you're busy most of the day, I feel like you definitely pencil in time to spend with your spouse. And I feel like you're very connected with them, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like you guys even necessarily want to go out a ton and see other people, because I just feel like you're so happy with this family unit and so happy with each other's company. Like, you're each other's favorite person. And so why go out to like a cocktail party, or why go out to a restaurant and meet up with friends when you're going to have the best conversation ever, just the two of you? So let's get more cards. So we got attachment, man holding a coin, man holding a heart, and door to personal healing and happiness. So like I told you guys, I don't mean to like go on and on, but Spirit is very like adamant about this man who is coming in, who is just obsessed with you guys. Or if you are a masculine, it could definitely be this feminine coming in. It's just the majority of my viewers are feminine. So, or the vast majority are. So I feel like for a lot of the masculines watching, just know that you can like flip it basically, and it will apply to you in this case for sure. I just feel like, yeah, you guys are going to be attracting a partner who also might have their own money. And if you guys are a masculine, maybe, you know, maybe this is you. Maybe you're just really in love with them and they're just really beautiful, really sexy. But anyway, for my feminines, you're going to be attracting a romantic partner who has some money. If you're into masculines. I always get it. It's so confusing to like translate the energies. But anyway, I feel like you guys are going to be attracting this partner who has their own money, who's attractive, who brings in a lot of romance, a lot of flirtation, a lot of joy, and you're so into them. You know what I mean? It's just a beautiful kind of spicy vibe between the two of you guys. So yeah, I feel like you guys are almost, it would almost be, like a lot of time to spend to each other. Like, people might think you're overly attached, but I actually think a lot of you guys might have worked through attachment styles or become very mature about this. Like, you've reached a place where, you know, you're not jealous anymore, or you're not fear of commitment anymore, where you feel very calm with them and you feel very restful with their energy, but you're so drawn to them. You don't really want to be around anyone else, but it's not unhealthy. So I feel like you're kind of obsessed with each other, but like in a positive type of way, not in like a, oh my God, they're going to leave me type of like unhealthy dynamic. Just like they're just literally, I just think they're so unbelievably awesome. So it's very, very positive. And this comes as a result of a lot of your healing work that I feel like you guys are doing right now. So you guys, I feel in this pile, a lot of you have been doing the healing work. You guys have been transmuting dark energies and turning them into positive ones. So because of that, I feel like that's why you have the room in your life for this relationship to come in. So in terms of where you guys might be living, we got Dragonfly Emergence, Crystals Focus, Spring Equinox Rebirth, and Wolf Instinct. So that's what I pulled these cards with the intention of that, but we're not getting a ton of info about that. So I'm not getting one specific type of area that you guys might be living in this pile, to be honest. I feel like maybe that means that you guys will be living in a variety of different places. Like people in this pile, some of you guys will be in one type of place, some of you guys will be in another. And like I said, you guys might also have enough money that you have multiple homes. You might have a spot here and a spot there where you can kind of travel, like for seasonal travel. So, you know, in the winter, maybe you're somewhere sunny, or vice versa, somewhere wintering with like lots of snow. Or maybe you guys are, you know, in the summer, somewhere green, or somewhere like in the desert. I don't know. I just feel like you guys in this pile, there's not one definite type of living space coming out. But I do feel like it's going to be bougie, however it is. That's what's coming up to me with crystals, is just like maybe there's some diamonds or some jewelry that your spouse gives you. Maybe you guys just have high-end everything. Maybe it's just a very like kind of whatever the best of the best is, that's what you guys will have in your house. So I'm getting kind of like, also I just heard non-toxic in my head. Maybe you guys will be that couple that cares about making sure everything is non-toxic and mold-free, and with like state-of-the-art, you know, stuff that is going to prevent, I don't know, pollution, or like that will clean the air. I just feel like this is very like top of the line, almost eco-friendly or non-toxic in some way. So you guys feel very aware of that. And I feel like you guys are in alignment with each other with that. Like both of you guys care about the same stuff. You wouldn't have to explain to them something about that. Like they would be on the same page with you. So again, I just think a big part of this is you guys being willing to step up and put yourself out there in the way that we've been talking about. So I think you guys should really push towards this instinct of doing exactly what it is you want and moving towards this idea of like stepping into your destiny and not being afraid of it. So let's move on from these cards, since they're not telling us a ton of extra information, to these cards. So we got Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences, a tidy house, a clarity and organization, crown games, right use of power. So this is like queen and king vibes that you and your spouse have. You guys both have a really nice like living situation. I feel like with that tidy house coming out, it's just basically saying you guys will have a beautiful house. It will be really nice. It will be upscale. It will be very, like I said, high end. And it's like you guys just have the money where if you want to live in a top of the line, like state of the art apartment, you can. If you want to live in an old crumbling manor house that's really beautiful, you can. But I almost feel like it's like an afterthought to you guys because, again, both of you guys feel very aligned with your life purpose. And both of you guys feel like the love is kind of the major thing. So I feel like this living situation, even though it's nice and it matters to you and you're like, I'm glad I have somewhere to go after work that's like makes me feel restful and happy, mostly you guys are so focused on like your career that takes up, and this relationship, that those things take up the majority of your mental space and how you spend your day. But I am seeing that at the end of the day, it's a nice enough place where you can come home. Maybe you have like a hot tub or a jacuzzi or a sauna or something, or maybe you just have a really nice bedroom that's really quiet, like a nice bathroom. But it's definitely a good place that makes you feel happy once you get to spend time there. It's definitely, like I said, kind of nice, more on the larger side. And yeah, so basically, you guys are just going to love where you live. We got grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. View from above, get the big picture, and unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. So, I mean, they just keep emphasizing the same stuff for you guys. I don't want to go on and on about it, but you guys are going to be so grateful for this future life. And I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to just have to go through a little bit of period of testing or figuring out where you are on your path or figuring out what the right path is for you. But I feel like Spirit is saying if you keep pushing into this destiny, if you guys keep leaning in towards this is what I'm hearing from my guides, this is what I'm hearing from Spirit, then you guys will be hugely rewarded. And there is going to be some incredible life for you that you really only dreamed of or didn't really think was possible. And it is possible. And they want you to know that. But the first step on this path would be, of course, finding out what that is, how you can serve the world, how you can bring something to the world that no one else can. So if you guys have been, doing that already, I think that's exactly where you're supposed to be on this path. But just don't get freaked out about it, or don't feel like daunted by this idea of sharing your stuff with the world, because I think that a lot of you guys in this pile, that's a part of your destiny. And that's going to be a part of your day, is like either planning out content or making content or, talking to stock owners or something in other parts of the world. But there's this definite connection you have with sharing stuff with the world and with talking to people from all over the world. So let me get some astro dice for pile 3. Can we find out how pile 3 is going to spend their day in the future? So we got Aquarius. Okay, we got Uranus, and we got 10th house. So that's really interesting because Aquarius and Uranus relate to, again, the world, and it relates to sharing things online, especially, and sharing things with large groups of people. So I really do feel like a lot of you guys are going to be doing this with the, online social media type of thing. And this is actually Neptune. I always get Neptune and Uranus confused, but it is Neptune, and Neptune talks about psychic downloads and psychic abilities. So So for a lot of you guys, this is aligned with like what I was talking about, some kind of a spirituality, and we've had a lot of spiritual cards coming through. So I really feel like you should be getting downloads from spirit about what this is. It may have already happened, or if it hasn't, keep an eye out for it, look out for it. But your 10th house is very aligned with these two things. So your 10th house is your career. It's kind of like how you spend your days. And again, I feel like a lot of your life is just going to be centered around this. I don't feel like you guys are going to give up your career for this family or for your loved, this partner that you're having, even though you love them so much and you probably want to spend all the time with them. But again, it feels like your career and your kind of life purpose comes first. So in terms of how you guys will be spending your day in the future, I feel like you guys will wake up in a beautiful state-of-the-art bedroom with like exactly the kind of appliances you want. Like maybe you have those electric drapes and blinds that will open at the touch of a button or something. Then wake up, go into your really beautiful bathroom, get ready for the day, take a shower in a nice shower, maybe like a marble shower or something, then go downstairs, make yourself a little breakfast, have something healthy to eat, and then, chat and talk with your partner, and then you're off doing your work. And that takes up the majority of your time. I almost feel like time is going to fly by because you're loving what you're doing. Like I read that Danielle Steele, like she said she works for like 20 hours at a time, which is insane. And she just doesn't get up from her desk. She's literally working pretty much the whole time. And she just eats like nibbles on chocolate is what she said. And just will be like, just basically stuck at her desk the whole time. But she loves it. And she's like serving her purpose by writing, even though she writes like romance novels that some people might even call cheesy. But in my opinion, how many people has she given hope to all over the world? How many people does she bring a smile to their face? Because she's one of the most best-selling novelists of all time. So she's reaching the masses, which is kind of what I see here. Sometimes people look down on that, but I think it's like how many people who really need help or support might find it in like a song, a book, like I said, a cooking video, something stupid online, a funny video that like makes someone laugh for 30 seconds and maybe they were depressed. So again, I just feel like you guys will get lost in your work. You will love what you do. You will be so invigorated and invested in this that it's like time is just going to fly by and the money's just going to pour in without you even noticing. Because, one of my favorite quotes, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So I feel like that's what you guys are going to be doing. You're going to be doing what you love and with the person you love, and you guys are going to be having a blessed, beautiful life. So I am so happy for you guys. What a beautiful energy for you guys to have. I definitely want to come over for like a party or something. So you'll have to invite me over to this because it sounds like a really good vibe. But anyway, I hope it resonated, pile 3. Let me know if it does in the comments. And yeah, make sure to like this video, give it a big thumbs up as well. And you can check out my Patreon if you want to see my extra readings. Link is in my bio for that if you want to see more of my content. And make sure you're subscribed over here as well with those notifications on if you want to see when I post next. So I'm just sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey pile 4, so if you guys picked this blue kyanite crystal, this is going to be your reading. For your pick a card, you guys got a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries, and for your tarot, you guys got the 9 of Cups, King of Wands, 2 of Pentacles reversed, 8 of Wands, 3 of Wands, the High Priestess, the Sun, and the 8 of Swords. So honestly, the vibe here for this day in your future is kind of like vacation vibes for a lot of you guys. I almost feel like you guys reach a certain level in your career or with your achievements with the 8 of Wands and the King of Wands where you're like, it's time to take a break. I've had a little bit of lack of balance with my career and now we're having fun by the beach, kind of like daiquiris and margaritas and just imbibing, enjoying life, taking part in those sensual pleasures, maybe flirting up a storm with someone. We could definitely see some indications of travel here coming out with the 3 of Wands and just this overall vibe. Like I feel like you guys are having fun. It might be in a tropical place with the sun coming out and maybe you guys are, by the beach or the water. We see the water here and lots of the different cards actually, and I just feel like you guys are having a good time on this day in the future. I do think it might come about as a result of a little bit of lack of balance in your work. Maybe you guys are achieving a lot, doing a lot with the Two of Pentacles reversed. Sometimes there can be too much of an emphasis on work and not enough on the other things in life. And maybe there comes a point where you're like, it's time to go on a vacation, because it feels like you guys reach a level of success and then you're kind of like, it's time to relax a little bit. So I can see with a fiery climax approaches full moon in Aries that it does seem like there's some kind of a build up to this. It does seem like there's something that precipitates this, but I feel like honestly the energy is super positive with the Nine of Cups and the Sun coming out. You guys are having a blast. You're having a good time. You might be flirting with someone like the King of Wands, or you might be the King of Wands. You couldn't be like a feminine with King of Wands energy where you're just having fun and kind of rooted in those sensual pleasures. And also the King of Wands is generally someone who's accomplished a lot and is some kind of a leader. So maybe you guys reach a certain level in your career, or you guys get a promotion or something like that. But it just feels like the vibe and the energy on this vacation is very relaxed. It's like I am, having fun, we're partying, we're letting loose a little bit, we're getting, like I said, those sensual pleasures. Sometimes I feel like the spiritual community can overlook that, and we don't want to be too grounded in, the sensuality of the body or anything like that. Obviously that can lead to getting out of control, but once in a while, enjoying the beauty of being human, of having a delicious drink, or getting a little loose, or having some food that's really rich and indulgent, or dancing and feeling the sweat on our skin or the sun on our skin, that's part of being human, right? It's why God gave us this beautiful planet and all the beautiful things in it, and we can always enjoy and have fun and still be on our spiritual path. And I just feel like a lot of you guys are enjoying, and I'm hearing Orange Trees by Marina. I love that song, and I think she says something, but she says bodies in the heat, and that's what's coming to mind. That line is like someone dancing around in the heat and the humidity of like summer, or like a tropical location. You know what I mean? Someone who is just kind of like that vibe of, when you've been walking along the beach or something for a couple hours in the sun, and you can kind of smell a little bit of that like sweat, but in a good way, and the smell of the ocean, the smell of the flowers. I love that kind of vibe. And I feel like that's what's coming to mind. Also, Harley's in Hawaii by Katy Perry. So very much like tropical vacation vibes for you guys, or somewhere where you guys are just enjoying and like laughing. And I know we are having summer come up, so this could apply to a lot of people, but I do feel like this could be any point in your future. But the energy is, I accomplished something and I got some kind of a thing I wanted, and now I get to take a break. I reached some kind of a happy achievement, and now I'm just like wrapped up in the joy of it. I'm not letting myself get too stressed. Like, I'll get back to work eventually, but right now this is a fun time for me. So I really love this type of energy. This sounds like a really fun trip, and I just see you guys expanding whatever this is. Like, I almost feel like with the Eight of Wands, whatever kind of work this was that you were working on, it feels like you already have success, but there's almost a level where you can kind of take a break because it's already in the air. Maybe you have something like an automated thing going on where you're collecting money and it's automated. You know what I mean? Where you can be on vacation and still collect the checks or something like that. I don't know, because it feels like even though you're on vacation, you're not like, oh my God, I'm stressed about this, I have so much responsibility. Maybe there's a dash of that, but mostly I feel like you guys are just like, it is time to let loose, and I know I'm going to keep doing well, and everything feels like really positive. So let's get more cards for you guys. So we got Hollow Bone Teachability, Joyful Muse Inspiration. Okay, that came up upside down. Willow of the Wisp, Treasures Hidden in the Shadows, and Stranger Curiosity. So I really do get a travel vibe. You guys exploring somewhere new with this Stranger card. Again, with this energy of like water, like I'm just getting a tropical type of energy, tropical type of vibe. And I'm seeing someone in like a bikini or a swimsuit, just having fun, like putting on sunscreen or tanning oil, or I don't know, something, and just laying on the beach, laying on a beautiful beach towel. And I also feel like you guys might be having a little bit of a romance during this time. There may be a source of pain that you guys are kind of trying to forget or not think about. Maybe there's something like that you had a breakup or something, and you're like, I need to go on this vacation. Because again, I just feel like there's something that preempts this vacation, but almost like you get some healing. You might get some divine downloads on this trip with the High Priestess. Treasures hidden in the shadows. So it may not seem that way. Sometimes I know I've gone on a lot of trips that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go here and like whatever, and then it's like you learn so much from that, and it's sometimes not the trips you expect. Sometimes, I've never been on one, but maybe you go on like a yoga retreat and you come back and you're like, okay, cool. I feel, I learned a little. But sometimes it's like the random wild trip you take to like a resort, going skiing in like the Berkshires or something, and or like just going on a trip to the Virgin Islands, and you're like, I didn't know this was going to be a spiritual trip, but I learned so much. I mean, I am always learning on my trips and on my travels, and so I feel like there's something about this that you guys take away a lot of, like knowledge and stuff, but also it's a very happy time. We got joyful muse. So maybe you guys are getting almost downloads for like an inspiration. I'm hearing a book. So maybe some kind of art that you guys are going to do, or some kind of a video, something like that. But it feels like a very joyful time. I feel like you guys are that, pile, that energy that kind of takes everything as like a lesson or like inspiration for a book. Like I'm hearing the phrase, everything's copy. So everything works for like, okay, I'll tell a story about this one day, or I'm gonna, somehow put this into my art one day. So it's not a loss, even if something crazy happened. So yeah, I feel like you guys are getting a lot of downloads during this time. You're learning a lot and you're also having fun doing it. So we got appreciation, woman holding a coin, the thinking woman, and broken heart. And actually, I think this was supposed to be reversed. And so when I see it next to broken heart like that, I'm getting, for some of you guys, there might have been something sad that preempted this. Either, a work situation that wasn't so great, or maybe it could have been a relationship, a broken heart, maybe someone who didn't appreciate you, or even not being appreciated at work. Maybe a boss who's like not taking in exactly how much you did, or something like that. Like maybe you already got a bunch of promotions, you're already doing really well, but you're like, no, I actually know I deserve more, and like, you're not giving that to me, and that I've been bringing in like half the company's revenue and I should be in a better position than this, you know what I mean? But something where you're like, I have earned this money, I am going to use it for this vacation, I'm going to have fun. So I feel like you guys, like, this is like luxury type of vibes. This is like, I don't mind spending my money on this, and we are going 4 stars, 5 stars, all the way. And honestly, again, this woman is holding a book in the thinking woman. So you guys might be writing or reading a book a lot, but I'm really getting some of you guys are very creative in this pile, and you guys might be either writers or artists, or you do some kind of creative work of some kind. And I feel like it pays off for you guys really well. I feel like you guys might be involved in some kind of a career, where you're doing creativity of some kind, and it's paying off on you really well, and you have the money and the financial stuff at your disposal to go where you want and do what you want. And so it's almost like there's some kind of like hardship that preempts this, but at this time in your future, on this day in your future, it feels like you guys also might have that kind of job where you can work from anywhere. You can work remotely, you can work from like a desk in a hotel room in the Maldives or something like that. And I feel like you guys are using these experiences to fuel your work. Like, that like this vacation is going to inspire you. That if you have a little summer fling with someone, that you're going to be able to put that into your story or your movie or whatever you guys are doing with this, or maybe a YouTube video or something. But I do feel like a lot of you guys will have jobs where you can work remotely. You've reached that kind of level where you don't have to phone it into like a 9-to-5 office. It feels like you guys can work from wherever. So I feel like you're getting a lot of, like I said, knowledge, downloads, and inspiration from this trip. So let's get more cards. So we got forgiveness, blame, honesty, and patience. So with forgiveness and blame coming out, it is making me think of like a bad breakup or a bad relationship or someone who just doesn't treat you well. And I feel like it almost preempts this as being like a final last shot of like, maybe some of you guys are in this situation now or something, because I don't really know why they're bringing it up so strong. Maybe there's someone in your life that's not treating you well right now, or a work situation where they're not treating you well right now, and you're kind of going back and forth like, I don't know, maybe you're juggling it to a pentacle style of like, should I stay with this? Should I not? And you kind of feel it tugging on your consciousness, high priestess energy of like, I should probably put this behind me. I feel like my guides are telling me, but with the 8 of Swords, you're conflicted and you're not wanting to leave it out. And there may come a point where you're like, I need to be honest with myself. this is not it for me. This is not good, and I'm done. And I do feel like what may seem like an initial disappointment to you of like, I can't believe this person treated me like that. And it something where everything comes out of the woodwork, or, you know, everything gets revealed and everything, the light gets shown on something. And suddenly you are confronted with something that you were kind of trying to see the bright side of. And if that happens, I feel like you should know that that's super positive, because it's going to lead to this much happier energy of the Nine of Cups and the Sun. So like maybe afterwards, you know, sometimes someone's like, you know what, I'm just going to go on a rebound. I'm just going to date this person. I'm just going to have a summer fling. And then it turns into like a serious relationship or something. You know what I mean? It turns into the love of their life, or they're like, I'm just going on vacation. You know, one of my favorite movies of all time, Under the Tuscan Sun, which does not get enough credit as like a very philosophical movie in my opinion. And she goes on that trip to Italy to just get away from like her ex-husband and take her mind off it. And then she ends up falling in love with the place, falling in love with the house, and then falling in love. And I just love that kind of message that like the most beautiful things can sometimes come from the least thing we expect. And I'm getting chills. Like sometimes when we just push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, or that moment that seems like the breaking point is really like God saving us from a bad situation. That moment where we're like, this, wow, this, I can't believe this is ending, is the best blessing that we could ever imagine, that will lead us on the right path to so much happiness. And honestly, I'm not surprised Under the Tuscan Sun came out, because I feel like there's other movies with that theme, but that one has a travel element. And I really do feel like this is like travel or a move or something like that, like a new fresh start, someone exploring, someone pushing forward, and, you know, being open to something new. And so I really feel like you guys might be traveling, or maybe you live in this kind of a place, but I feel like there's an element of the unknown here. It's kind of a Sagittarius energy, which makes sense because there's a lot of fire energy all over here. And, you know, Sagittarius is all about exploring, finding new things. And it's interesting that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom. So, you know, sometimes people think like, oh, so you're traveling, like, okay, well, who cares? So you're going to like Cancun again, whatever. But actually, we get some of the best knowledge and philosophy and downloads from spirit just from like traveling, even if it may not seem like that. Like, it doesn't have to be like, we're going to Greece to study the ancient wisdom. It can be, you know, we're going to Wisconsin to like have fun and, you know, go for a great hike or something and try the cheese and like explore, you know, because I know Wisconsin's really beautiful in the summertime, is from what I've seen of pictures. It doesn't have to be like this deep learning, you know, ancient literature type of trip. It can be anything, and we get downloads and we get knowledge and we have fun. And like I said, there's wisdom to be found from dancing on the beach and, you know, having fun and having a little bit too much wine and laughing with a new friend. Like that's okay too, you know. And I almost see like you guys, maybe you've been in an oppressive situation with someone that like talked down to you, or people who are rude to you. It might be, I don't know why they're bringing this up to me so strongly. So I'm like, are these people currently in this energy? I don't know. I don't know why they're bringing it up. But it's like, this just feels like a revelation. Like, it's like you go on something not expecting it to be that deep, but it really is. So if you guys aren't in a bad situation and you're like, well, everything's pretty okay, it might just be you're traveling and you're going to be exploring, or you're moving. I definitely feel like if you got this pile, you're probably moving or traveling for sure. So we got wind activation, mountain strength, lightning power, and lake stillness. So much water energy again. And by water, I mean not so much the element, but more like the actual, like being around water in nature. You know what I mean? So being by the ocean or being by a lake. Maybe you guys really enjoy being in water. Salt water and the ocean and the sea is an amazing cleansing thing. So if you guys are lucky enough to live near the water, oh my God, it's so beneficial to go dunk yourself in the ocean, you know, at least like once a week or so, and get your head under it to clear your heart chakra, get your heart, try to get your whole body in there, because it's like, it's so cleansing. But I really feel like for some of you guys, you might be on a tropical vacation, or you might be just moving somewhere new, maybe near water. We did get mountain too, but I feel like this is going to be an activating moment for you guys. Like, this is going to be a trigger point in your life, leading you into the kind of energy you guys really want, and leading you into these new blessings that you guys have been hoping for, taking you out of a bad situation and putting you into your higher strength. So I feel like it's like in this new energy on this day in the future, um, there's like an element of sadness of something that you've lost, but there's like kind of starting to be like, I am kind of having fun. And then, you don't even realize that this is kind of setting you down the garden path to this beautiful activation of a new life for you guys. So there's something in this that's very powerful. And I think that's why they're bringing this day up for you guys. Because you were the first one that came through with this really strong kind of a message. Um, but it's like it's okay to be in this moment. And I feel like with stillness coming up, like there's a really strong message for you guys, for some of you guys, that sometimes it's okay not to be super productive. Like maybe you guys are that person that feels like you've got to be working all the time, you've got to be doing stuff, and it's okay to just be present in your life and present in your body and just feeling and just enjoying. And so sometimes when we go too far in one direction or the other, either too far in the physical indulgence, which spirit will correct us out of, or too much into the energy of being in our heads or in the spiritual astral realm, maybe spending too much time meditating, and not enough time living, spirit will kind of force us into those opportunities where it's like, we have to feel our feelings, we have to feel our bodies, and we get back into our body and we enjoy how amazing it feels, and we remember how much fun it is to laugh or to eat really good food or to like dance around to a silly song. So I just feel like at this future date, you've let go of something, but that is aligning you with this beautiful new path. And I do feel like you guys will probably be flirting. You guys will probably be like really getting to know someone, maybe like a summer romance type of vibe. Maybe you like meet on the beach or something like that. They're really cute, and maybe you're like, I don't even know if I want to be forever with this person, but it's just so much fun in the moment, and I'm going to take something so positive away from this. So if you guys have been planning a vacation for the summer, or you guys have been hoping to move somewhere, I definitely feel like that's confirmation, and I definitely feel like you guys are going to be surprised by how much you enjoy yourselves. But let's get more cards. So we also got healer, practice, author, and let go. So I do feel like there's a message from spirit for some of you guys that there's something they may want you to let go at this time in your life. Maybe there's something that you guys have been trying to work through or not sure about. Like you're like, I don't know if this person really is on my team or not. They're always kind of shady to me, but they are, they say they're loyal or something like that. That I feel like you guys might just be letting go of something that you might already be feeling. I feel intuitively from spirit that you are supposed to let go of, but for whatever reason you're holding on to it. And I think it's just going to kind of fall away. And there's a real journey to self kind of going on here. I just saw like the cliffs of like Ireland or Scotland or something like that. Some kind of wild, North Atlantic seas kind of sea energy, where there's like crashing waves and like dark colored water and it's kind of cold, something like that for some of you guys. But I do feel like a lot of you guys, as I mentioned, have a gift for writing or art creation in some way. You guys truly do have some very strong gifts in that sense. And I feel like a lot of you guys in this pile are healers. You guys might actually work in the medical field, or you might be like a spiritual type of healer. And in a way, I think this journey is going to be really healing for you, this trip or this vacation, whatever this energy is, this move. I feel like there's a closed offness to this energy a little bit that's going to burst open on this future day in your future. You're going to just be blown away by like everything you get from this move. There's going to be something so unexpected about it. So let's get more cards. We got friendship, wait for winter, wish wisely, and healing. So with the friendship card coming through, like I really do see you guys having a lot of fun. And we got the 9 of Cups, which can literally talk about drinking, going out and having fun. So it's like you guys might be going on this trip with friends or meeting friends on the trip. I do feel like there's an element, again, of socializing that hasn't been happening as much lately. So you guys either keeping yourselves in hermit mode, which it's totally understandable, especially with all the current events that have been happening for the past, 2 years. So, I mean, it's, a lot of people haven't even had a choice in the matter. And so, no judgment, but I just feel like there's a message from spirit of maybe it's time for you to go out, have fun, put a smile on your face, enjoy things for yourself, not be so closed off, not be so stuck in your ways, being open a little bit more. And it's going to be very healing for you. As I mentioned, you guys are going to take a lot out of this. It may seem like this is kind of silly. It's not that deep. It's just some kind of little stupid trip that is for fun, but there's actually very deep healing energy here. And I think you guys are going to be really happy with this choice. So maybe this is going to be happening in winter for you, or for some of you guys, it might be happening in the summer, because I am seeing like beaches and stuff like that, but I don't know. We did wait for winter, and wish wisely. So maybe you guys are currently manifesting, and it's kind of like maybe you're going to get clarity on this trip about what you guys should manifest or what direction you should head in. So let me get more cards for pile 4 about their day in the future. Can you tell me about their day in the future, Spirit? So we got wandering path, enjoy the journey. See, exactly. They want you to enjoy the journey. They don't want us to just be on a journey that we hate. And I'm telling you, we get faraway places, which is the travel card. Get ready for new horizons. That's really coming in strong for so many of you. And we also got infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life, and overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything, and choosing your path all is possible. So maybe this is the message that you guys is, oh my God, sorry. I'm so tired, but maybe that's the message you guys needed in this pile. And the answer is now release control. So maybe you guys needed this knowledge that like you can do what you guys want. You can succeed. Maybe you've had people in your life trying to talk you down or something. Because I don't know why these messages are coming through strong in like just a day about your future reading, but maybe this is a message some of you guys really needed to hear. But I do feel like on the day in your future, I'm just seeing someone having a lot of fun. And to me, even though I guess this is a boulder, it honestly looks like a peach to me, like James and the Giant Peach. And I do feel like there's an energy of you guys indulging almost in like sensual indulgence. And by that, I just mean like the beauty of life, because there's a reason why like Taurus, which is a romantic card, also it relates to literally sensuality, because it's like bodily pleasure of all forms. So that's why it also rules food or drinking or luxury, things that even just feel good against your skin, like silk or like fur, you know what I mean? So it's like that beautiful energy of enjoying life, that beautiful energy of cutting into a perfectly ripe peach and tasting how delicious it is, or cutting into a beautiful like wheel of cheese that is just so fresh and like melty and just amazing, you know what I mean? Or having like a watermelon in the middle of summer and it's so juicy, and something like that. Like I just feel like there's something where some of you guys might be out of your body, and this trip is about rooting you back into that, bringing you back down, so you're like, oh my God, I forgot how fun it is to dance under the moonlight, or I forgot how fun it is just to laugh with my friends, and it's not productive and it's not helping my career. But yeah, I don't know why they're bringing this up, but I do feel like this day in your future, you guys are enjoying and having fun. And this is a way, like enjoying the small things in life is a way you could kind of emulate this energy and bring it into your life now. I do feel like you guys are working on something, and you're going to be building a lot of abundance and wealth. So like, if you guys are afraid of like, oh, what if I get off track? What if I get off this journey? It's like, don't be worried about it. You can't, like when you have a really strong destiny and stuff, spirit will keep chasing you down with it, and you'll always have that option to rejoin. You know what I mean? So it's okay. Not that we should be like delinquents who are out like staying up until 5 a.m. every single night, and something like that. That's like way out of balance and out of whack. But it's okay once in a while to go out and have fun with your friends and have a little bit of a blast. So let me shuffle more cards for you guys from this deck. So we got, let's see, what is going to be this day in pile 4's future. So we got the Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good illusion, sisters of the seasons, the Lady of the Gate, generosity, receiving, withholding, and the prison waif. self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. Maybe some of you guys have already built up a lot of money, but you don't want to spend it, or you're afraid it's going to go away. But part of manifesting money and wealth, and this is why, like I said, Taurus also relates to wealth, luxury, and abundance. And it's not a mistake. Nothing in astrology is a mistake. So the fact that it's related to, sensual pleasures of food, of good like wine and good things to eat and drink and feeling good in our bodies and enjoying stuff, that's directly related to wealth as well. So that means that when we can bring ourselves into a place where we're feeling enraptured with life, with the beauty of life, when we can do things to even beautify our spaces or travel or make us feel good, feel like a 5-star type of person, like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling good, I look good, I'm happy, I'm enjoying the taste, the flavor, the vibe, that brings us in alignment with wealth as well. So don't be afraid that by doing this, you're going to step off track to your path and to your journey. Let me get some astro dice for pile 4 about this day in their future. So we got Neptune, we got the 7th house, and we got Sag, which I knew we were going to get Sag. As I told you guys, there's such strong Sag energy, and I mentioned that Sag relates to the 9th house. It relates to travel. It also is ruled by Jupiter, planet of philosophy, planet of luck as well. So maybe this is going to be a very lucky time for you guys, and I'm hearing lucky number 7, and then we got 7th house. So it's like I'm getting a message that, with the 7th house, that can relate to partners. It relates to Libra. And sometimes I think when we get to, but it's so funny, I slipped up and I said Virgo. Because what I'm about to say is such Virgo energy, because sometimes we can get too hung up on like a to-do list, which is very Virgo energy, a to-do list, or so hung up on like the timeline, or so hung up on like it was supposed to look like this, or like getting into the details of things. Virgo also relates to writing, just coming to mind. And I feel like sometimes we can get so hung up on like, when am I going to meet my partner, that we don't go out to a party and have fun because we're in like search mode, instead we go out to a party and we're like trying to meet people frantically, and they're like, what the heck is wrong with this person, or we're going out and we're trying to like get a date, and instead we come off crazy because our energy is crazy. So we're coming up to people and being like, hi, what's your name? Hi, I want to meet you. Yeah, like, and it's awkward and it's weird, you know what I mean? And if we just chilled and relaxed and let it kind of flow and get ourselves into a good vibe and felt happy and met people and stayed present in the moment, right? And we were just coming up to people like, hi, it's so nice to meet you, then that would be so much more energetically a match with what we're trying to bring in, which is that love, happiness, joy. So that's a message for some of you guys. And Neptune as well relates to Pisces, the 12th house. That relates to endings, things that need to end in your life. So again, some of you guys might have vibes. Maybe you're attached to someone from your past that you thought it was going to work out with, and Spirit is saying like, shake this off. Let's get into something new. Let's welcome in the new. Let's clear out the old. Sometimes Spirit took out the trash and there's someone like wrapping their arms around the trash bag in the dumpster trying to keep the trash in their life, and Spirit is like, no, I took it out for a reason. And what are you doing? I have like a gold-plated gift to give you inside the house, and you're sitting in a dumpster wrapping your arms around a pile of trash, and sometimes, not to be harsh, but we can do that with past relationships and stuff. So it's like, once something gets removed from our life, that's when we gotta, focus. And if it comes back, that's okay, right? We can be open to it, but always expecting the best. Always being like, I can't wait for my next blessing from Spirit. I'm so excited to see what it is this time. Expecting it like a beautiful gift, and then enjoying it when it comes in. Because that's also why Spirit gave it to us. Like, Spirit wants to see us enjoying life. Spirit wants to see us enjoying the planet, the world, the beautiful things that God made for us, right? He made it for us to enjoy. So it's kind of like, have you ever given someone like a really top of the line gift and they're like, oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. And you're like, that gift cost a lot of money, and it took me a long time to find it. And I'm not going to call you out, but like, I wanted you to be excited, because that's what happens when we're giving a gift, right? We want to see someone smiling. We want to see them joyful. We want to see them like, oh my God, I love this, and enjoying it and trying it out and having fun with it. So this is why Spirit gave us this beautiful world. So stop focusing on like a past, if that's what you guys are doing. I don't know, because this message is kind of strange for the topic, but this is what I'm getting so strong for you guys. So Know that everything happens in cycles and divine order, as it says. So if it's supposed to be out, it's supposed to be out. And we got to release control and welcome in the brand new blessings that I feel like Spirit is bringing to you. And this energy in the future, you guys are going to realize that you're going to be blown away by all the beauty of this time for you and all the gorgeousness that you guys are having come in with this energy in the future, because I just think you guys are going to be so happy, and you're going to realize like, oh, why was I thinking about that guy when this cute like King of Wands energy is sitting next to me staring into my eyes, and he's hot as heck, and I just am so excited. I can't believe I'm here. Like, this is amazing. So yeah, just don't be too focused on the past. Focus on this sexy little King of Wands you guys have coming in. So I really hope that resonated. Pile 4, let me know if it did in the comments, because this was an interesting one. It wasn't what I was asking really, but we had to channel the message. So I hope it resonated, guys, and give it a big thumbs up as well. And if you want to check out my additional readings, you can head over to my Patreon. A link is in my bio for that to see all my additional videos and readings. So, and if you also want to subscribe over here to see my readings on YouTube, you totally can, and turn on notifications as well. So I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.